I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of getting tired of the usual keyboards that are out on the market right now. Don't get me wrong, they're great, they have a ton of value, but sometimes you just want that little something extra. And boy, is this product that we're reviewing today really extra. This is David, your casual nerd. Let's go ahead and check it out. First, I want to get into the key features of the keyboard. The layout is the super popular 75% or TKL, which basically means you're missing the number pad and keeping your F row. In my opinion, the 75% layout is the best type of keyboard since you can use it in any type of situation and it's almost always good. Going smaller to a 65% layout would also be a decent choice, but missing out on the F row really sucks for the moments where you actually need one. There's also a knob shifter type thing that can control the volume and mute your audio. The build of this keyboard is pretty robust. The frame itself is made out of aluminum and it's nice and light, no flex in this thing. We have an FR4 plate that's been my favorite type to go to for a nice typing sound. We have layers of foam surrounding the PCB, and lastly, the bottom plate isn't insanely heavy, it just adds a nice rigidity to the whole keyboard. The color I have here is the Galaxy Black, which is probably the safest choice if you don't want to go too loud. Some of these colors are insane looking, but I have a feeling that people who are looking for this keyboard want that type of thing. The weight is around 2.6 pounds or 1,180 grams, so like I said earlier, not too light, but not too heavy. For connectivity, we have the perfect trinity of connections: Bluetooth, cable, and receiver. A choice for anyone and their specific situation. I personally like to use the receiver as it gives me a no cable look, but also gives me really good connection. Of course, not as good as cable, but still fantastic. I also like that if you want to switch the key inputs to Mac, you can do so with the flip of a switch. This is good for those who have that dual setup and one monitor. Now onto battery life on this keyboard, which is really good. It never really was a thing that I was worried about. It has an 8,000 milliamp hour battery, which lasted me a long time, and when gaming, I just attached the cable if the battery ever got low, and I'm back in the game. Without any RGB, this will supposedly last you up to 470 hours, according to Gravastar, but I'm telling you, this will never be a problem for you. The switches are made by Kale, which is one of the best keyboard switch manufacturers. It's a linear switch with 45 grams to actuate and 3.5mm travel press, so it isn't the best type of switch for gaming in my opinion. I feel like something lighter would be a bit better, but I'm still sold. I never experienced any problems because my key inputs were slow. And now onto those keycaps, which are made from PBT, my favorite type of material for keycaps. You know what to expect here. Nice texture, resistance to fingerprints, and crisp legibility if you care about that. I also want to point out that the tops of the keycaps are solid, while the base is see-through, which gives you a really cool effect when you're using the RGB. It really brings up the aesthetic to this keyboard. And last but not least, the software. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really use the software all too much. I mainly did it for the review, but I felt like this keyboard was so tuned really well out of the box. I'm not going to spend too much time on this topic, especially since my PC marks the download as unsafe. So let's move on to the cons I have with the keyboard. Okay, so what to improve with this keyboard? The number thing that I had in mind was the 1 kHz polling rate. This should easily be at least 4,000 or up to 8,000, especially if you're going to be advertising this as a gaming keyboard. 1,000 just doesn't cut it nowadays. The next issue is going to be subjective, and that is that this design can either be a hit or a miss for you guys. To me, this is one of the coolest keyboards that I've ever used. It's a real eye catcher, and someone always has something to say whenever they see this on my desk. And the part of the design that I'm not a fan of are these claw adjustments for the height of the keyboard. Pretty clever that they added a function to a design piece of the keyboard. And again, I do know that this is what Gravastar is going for, but it's just not for me. And the last main issue that I had with the keyboard is definitely with the software. And for the review, when I did try to use it, it sent me over to this kind of sketchy Google Drive download of the software. And what's funny is that my PC was flagging me down every single time I was trying to download the file. But it's safe to say that I didn't even try it. If you guys are interested in this keyboard and you really want to have some kind of software to customize it, then by all means go ahead. I just didn't want to take the risk, especially if I felt like I didn't even need to. So moving on to my favorite features of the keyboard, the number one thing is the quality of the materials used. I I know that this keyboard is pretty pricey, but it's a good thing to know that you're paying for really good quality materials. I love that, and also the design itself, minus the feet, really do stand out as some of my favorite features. And the other real positive was the typing experience. The switches, the FR4 plate, I didn't really feel like I needed to change anything about it. I didn't feel like I needed to add any lube to the switches, and it has such a nice poppy and creamy sound right out of the box. But the good thing is, since this is a custom keyboard, you can change anything that you want if you do get tired of it. But I'm not going to change anything anytime soon. Now onto the rating, you guys, and if you don't know what they are buy a full price, try it out, wait for a sale, and pass. So today for the Gravastar K1 Pro keyboard, I'm going to give this a wait for a sale. My rating for value of this keyboard is going to be a 7 out of 10. And that's basically just due to the overall price of the keyboard. It's just too expensive. But the good thing is, if you don't wait for a sale, you are going to be getting a quality keyboard that I do believe is going to last you a pretty long time. If they up the value of the polling rate up to 4,000 to 8,000 hertz and also improve that software, because it is complete dog water, this would easily be a buy at full price with an amazing value of like a 9 out of 10. In my opinion, the target audience for this keyboard is just someone who's into this type of design. You can get similar keyboards like this that are priced way better and also sound just about the same. So what you're really paying for here is this really awesome design. And for those who are willing to spend the money, they already know what they're gonna get. Last point is that longevity. Like I said earlier, this keyboard, I really do think it's gonna last. Not only that, if you do have a Mac and PC type of hybrid setup like I do, you can use this thing as your only keyboard and just switch between both. But you guys just let me know down in the comments below. Let me know if I got this review right, if I got it wrong. Would you guys buy this thing, or would you just pass on it? Watch this next video if you want to see a pegboard for your desk that could hang up this keyboard. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is David serving you a little side of tech, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you guys.